Before I forget, because if someone watching this tape doesn't know, what is the title of this movie?
It's called Spirit of Love, the Mike Glenn story.
So how did you even come across this? How did this come about?
Well, you know, I have done other sports films, and a couple of Mike Glenn's coaches brought me the story idea, and I actually told them no 3 times. I told them, go away. I don't want to do another sports film. And I'd done several films with disabilities associated with them, and I thought, well, do I really want to be the filmmaker that's known as just doing disability films? And then, truthfully, what happened is I was watching my nephew play basketball, and Hunter wears hearing aids. Without the hearing aids, he hears nothing. He was playing basketball, championship game. They were making the introductions. He couldn't hear his name being announced. And I realized in that moment how close to my family this story was. And through tears, as I was taking pictures, I thought, okay, I got to do this story. And so I asked him, I said, buddy, tell me how come basketball is important to you? He said, it's the first time I've ever felt accepted. And I thought, you know what, that's how all those kids feel, so I'm doing this story.
Now, obviously you're dealing, because this was produced with deaf and hard of hearing teens, so tell me, what were some of the challenges as a director? Did you have any challenges?
Oh, absolutely. It was a whole new ball game. But I knew enough to know that I don't know any sign language, so I started making calls and found some interpreters. And we had 20 different interpreters that volunteered their time on the set, changing out every day. That way we made sure that I wasn't telling the kids to go jump in the lake when I wanted them to do something else, you know. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And because of this film, all my films will be captioned, all of them, because after talking with kids and they tell you, you know, when I go to the movies with my hearing friends and there are no captions, well, I feel stupid because I don't know what's going on in the movie, you know. So I understood then that was very important.
And obviously you directed, starred in this movie. Was it difficult playing multiple roles?
Well, I usually wear a lot of hats. As an independent filmmaker, you have to. Mm-hmm. And I generally try to do a Hitchcock approach where I get to do a little cameo, because I actually started as an actor. Mm-hmm. But I had no intention. I was going to do a very small role in this. And what happened was that some of the women that showed up couldn't dribble the basketball. And they were great with the kids, but they couldn't. And the kids came to me and said, Miss Darla, you need to coach. You need to play the coach. So I thought, okay, why not? But I have a background in coaching. So to me, it was just a natural fit. It was probably the role for myself that was more close to my own personality out of everything that I've ever done. But I enjoy it. I like wearing different hats.
How do you feel about the final project?
Well, it still makes me cry, so that's always my meter. If it makes me cry and laugh, and just like, you know, you've talked to Laura Dodd, that song, I can listen to it and the emotions just well up in me. And so I really feel like that's what's going to happen with the audience. And we've seen it over and over, and the audiences are very moved by it, and it's really making an impact. We had a private screening, and I did not know it, but this woman had brought her daughter, her teenage daughter, and she came up to me afterwards and she said, my daughter's deaf, and thank you for making the movie, because this is the first film that I've seen that had teenage role models that were deaf and hard of hearing like my daughter, and how she associated with those characters. So when you get somebody telling you something like that, then you know you did something good.
And you're also getting another indication you've done something good, considering you're the top 5 nominations. Talk to me about what it's like. Obviously, clearly you're proud of it, but what it means to be recognized in that manner.
Well, you know, when you set out to make movies, it's not about the accolades. When they come, you're a little overwhelmed, and with this one, certainly we're overwhelmed. We are nominated against Warner Brothers in 42, which is a $40 million movie. And, you know, as you know, ours is under $45,000. So it just makes you feel good that, well, okay, the little guy can maybe get ahead. So we're just really honored and privileged to even have our name associated in the same sentence with Warner Brothers and 42, because that movie's a great, phenomenal movie about, you know, Jackie Robinson. And the interesting thing between 42 and Spirit of Love, the stories are somewhat parallel, because they both start in the segregated South. And except we have kids, and our kids just are amazing in this film.
What do you hope comes of this?
Well, to be honest, what we're trying to do is we want to have the film in theaters with the captions so that all kinds of deaf and hard of hearing kids can go with their hearing friends to the theater and actually get it out in theaters and on TV. That's really our ultimate goal, because it promotes Mike and his camps and the kids. 50% of all the proceeds made from the film goes to the camps, because we want to be able to, for Mike to expand and not have to worry about that financial aspect to put the camp on, because his camp is still free to this day after 34 years. And he does it just like we do our films, on a shoestring budget. So we hope that it will help with that.
Is that a real possibility? Are you in talks with anyone to make that happen? Or?
Well, we're starting to do that. We had to take some time to really get the film at the right length. It was running about an hour and 50 minutes, and now it's at 98 minutes. So with distributors, anything under 100 is really good. So it's right now ready.
Okay. Perfect. And for people who aren't able to make it to the premiere at 1 o'clock, can they see this movie somewhere? Where do they need
Well,
to go?
actually, they can go to spiritoflovemovie.com. We do have DVDs, and that is the longer version that we're offering. There's various reasons. There's a lot of things in there that we had to cut a little bit short for the marketable picture, but they certainly could do that. And just go to the website, because that's where all the information is. When it's ready to release in theaters, it'll all be there.
Perfect. All right. Excellent.
Anything
else that
No.
I forgot? I want to make sure. All right. Let's
Thank
get
you so
Maddie
much.
up here. No, you're welcome.